Hi everyone, it's Ashley from the Art Camp. Happy holidays. Today I wanted to show you two different science experiments that you can do at home over winter break. The first one, you need peppermint candies, the little red and white striped candies, a plate, and some water. You can use as many of these candies as you like, or as few. You just need to make a circle on the plate. So the bigger the circle, the more candies you need. Now, many of you who have been to Art Camp have seen this type of experiment done before with rainbow Skittles, where you put the Skittles in a circle and then you add water. So we're gonna try it today with peppermint candies. Now, I'm just forming a circle with my peppermints, and in a moment, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to the middle. What do you think is gonna happen? Is anything gonna happen? Are colors gonna come out? Is it gonna make a pattern? Is it gonna be solid? What do you think? Let's find out. So now that I have my peppermints in a circle where they're all touching, there's no gaps or holes in between the candies, they're all touching, I'm gonna take a little bit of water and pour it in the middle. And you only need enough where the water is just kind of touching the bottom of all the candies. You don't need to pour so much that they start to like float around. So we'll just let it sit and see what happens. Now, you'll need to give it like a minute before anything really happens. While this is starting, I'm gonna tell you what we need for our second experiment. For our second experiment, you just need a clear glass or jar, any size, soda that you can see through. So Sprite is great. And some bells, like the little jingle bells. Now, if you don't have those bells, you could try this experiment with other things and see what happens, like maybe little Lego pieces, and let me know if the same reaction happens. So if you take a look back at our peppermints, the colors have started to pull from the candy. The water is making that red and white coloring dissolve off the candies and forming a swirl pattern in the middle of the plate. How cool. So now that our peppermint experiment is done, I'm gonna move on to our second experiment. So I'm just gonna push this off to the side. And the longer you leave it, the more and more red it's gonna become. So for our second experiment, you're going to take your glass jar and you're going to put some bells inside the jar. Now, you want to have enough where there's a layer on the bottom and then a second or third layer on top. So you need to have, you know, a good amount of little bells in there. I put in about 10, I think. Now, we're going to add the soda to the jar. What do you think is going to happen? There's a couple of different things that I think might happen. One option is the bells will stay at the bottom, gravity will keep them down at the bottom, and the liquid will float to the top. Another option is the bells might start to float because of all the bubbles. And a third option is maybe both. Some bells will stay at the bottom and some will go to the top. Maybe they'll dance around. I don't know, let's see. So I'm gonna take my jar and I'm gonna add some soda to it. So be careful. You can already see lots of bubbles are forming. Oh, one of them started to float, two of them. Let's see. So the air bubbles pull some of the bells up, and then when the air bubbles pop, they fall back down. Dancing jingle bells. So you'll see different bells started to move around at different times, and different ones stayed at the bottom. They kind of danced. There they go again. So cool. I hope you guys enjoyed these two science experiments. Happy winter break. I'll see you again next week with an art project. Enjoy!